my opinion, I really see that process excellence is the process or the effort in the whole industry around optimizing the process, mapping a process, going through using a variety of different tools to come up with the optimal process for any type of business process. And then on the operational excellence standpoint, it's my belief that that is then the execution of that process. And so putting it into actual operations. And again, that's where we felt we really fit in nicely with this operational excellence message, where it's mapping an optimal process, but then executing and iterating and constantly improving on that process. So having a tool to be able to do that. So I do think that, as I just mentioned, that there is this evolution of looking at process and mapping it up on a board and putting it into a great mapping tool, but then turning that into an actual operational, executable application that all the team members can have access to, put inputs into, to continually improve that process. So what I see is an evolution of the process and the operations coming together in one sort of flow, if you will. I know it's great sessions today, really engaged participants. It was great. So, I think what we really talked about a lot is, from the digital workplace standpoint, is how you create that digital transformation, how you get buy-in at the top level, but then how do you get the people who are actually operating that new process and operating maybe that new digital technology. And I think one thing is really critical is the idea of starting small, iterating, showing success, and then expanding. So identifying processes in particular departments, usually with an overlap, a couple departments, so you can get that interdepartmental collaboration going. But basically starting with that first process, showing a success to all the stakeholders, to then be able to get buy-in as you keep moving it along and spreading out throughout the organization. So I think the key to getting a real successful digital workplace is start slow with a defined process, very clear, get success in that, and then start expanding and exposing it to the rest of the organization. So Kintone is a rapid application build and deploy platform using no code or low code. And so what Kintone is doing for organizations is empowering the people who know their processes best to build applications, custom applications around those processes. So obviously some oversight of IT, also working with process excellence experts to first define very clearly what that optimal process is, but then the people who are actually implementing the process, actually moving the process along, those operations managers, those are the ones who can actually create the applications in real time. And so they know best what those processes are, what the key aspects, the data fields, and the different processes, notifications, and all the various pieces of the puzzle to make that process efficient. So Kintone is enabling this group of people who want to make their processes better to kind of do it themselves and see the success on an iterative basis. Again, getting back to the iteration. So starting with one process, getting the people who are directly responsible for that process to build the application, and then now have the tool for them to do their very best work. And so it's really creating a more engaged employee base, because they now can do the things to make their job better, easier, more efficient, more productive. And I think that's primarily where Kintone comes into play.